Hey, welcome to our new channel. My name's Josh, and this channel is going to be fixing or fishing. At the beginning of the video, we'll figure out what are we going to be doing. Are we going to be fixing stuff, or are we going to be doing some fishing? So these are just two things that interest us. Besides motorcycles, we already have a motorcycle channel where it's predominantly motorcycle content, dragging old bikes home or fixing bikes or, bike shows, events, that kind of thing. But we're not just into motorcycles, and we thought it'd be a good idea to introduce some new content on our new channel, Fixing or Fishing. Welcome. This is my 78 F150 Ford Super Cab. It's got a 400 motor in it. I had the factory carburetor, Motorcraft carburetor rebuilt, and whoever did it put the little throttle blades, the little round deals on wrong. So I tried to take it apart myself and take the tiny little screws out, and ended up busting some of those screw heads off. So the truck has been sitting here overnight because it was stuck. It doesn't run without a carburetor. So I had to think quick, and no auto stores had one in stock that I could get within the next few days. Mostly they were like a week out. So we did get one overnighted off Amazon, which was like 90 bucks, free shipping overnight. Said it was going to be between 7 a.m. and 11 a.m. and I'll be damned if it didn't show up at the door at 7 in the morning. So here it is. We're going to check this bad boy out and put it on and see if we could at least move the truck around. I don't need it to be amazing. I do intend on getting another stock carb. Apparently you got to measure the float bowl, and there's some kind of real weird gasket. But shoot, the carb itself looks killer. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it looks kind of cheesy. It's polished. But these are the screws on the other ones that I broke off trying to rearrange these valves, because whoever put them together didn't put them on right. In the reviews on Amazon, I did read that we need to take the power valve cap off and tighten it up because it's loose, I guess, when people are getting these. So we're going to set the base idle adjustments. We're going to check a lot of the hardware and make sure it's snugged up, because what I don't need is little metal bits falling inside my motor. So we're going to go through and check some of the hardware, tighten the power valve, put it on, and see what happens. So here are the two side by side, both with the front facing us. We're missing this guy on this one, so we're gonna go ahead and swap him over, and the little bracket plate that he's sitting on. That's just one of the things I noticed off the bat that are wrong. And then some people said that also the the choke is clocked in the wrong position, so we'll have to check that once we actually get it over there. But I mean, it seems like it's working pretty good. It's way tighter than the stock one, so we may need to back that off a little bit, but we'll get to moving that stuff over. All right, so we took this little bolt off the old carburetor, tried to put it on this new one, and it has these little nubs. They're supposed to go into those little holes and allow this and this to line up. Well, obviously their measuring was off there because it wouldn't sit down inside those grooves with the holes lining up. So we took a grinder to it, just flatten those fellers out. Now it'll sit on there. We'll put our hole in between this screw and the stud. It'll keep it kind of centered. So we'll go ahead and mount that on. So that's the first thing that we found that is not accurate. It's not looking good. When it's just a simple bolt-on external item, makes me kind of wonder about the insides, but we'll find out. All right, so also the fuel inlet that it comes with doesn't have the filter that goes into here. It comes with that little just threaded one in the box. It's a different size nipple. So we're going to use our old one. We're just going to take it off and thread her up in there. We also are going to need to take this guy out, which holds the air cleaner cover on. So we'll take him off too. Obviously you can use the appropriate tools, but we're just going to make the truck run. At least the threads are right. On both?
Strike the lottery.
Okay. Cool. Now we'll go to the next side. That looks fine other than backside. Just want to make sure. Oh, we're missing a vacuum nipple here, and I don't have a way to change that. So we're going to probably end up running whatever went into here to another vacuum source. Nope. As far as the linkages go, they look fairly similar. I don't have this weight thing on mine, but this ball nubby is here, and the transmission kickdown guy is over here. So I think I'm gonna have to back that out because it wasn't that tight on mine. So we'll back this guy out some to get it in kind of the same region as that one, which looks like it's right. Yeah, it's gonna come out a little bit, so we'll work on that. Then we'll start tightening parts of it up and pop that power valve cover cap off so that we can tighten the power valve. Alright, so we went ahead and pulled this top air cover off. There's 6 screws on there. Then there's this little guy that goes to your choke on the side. You have to take that off in order to pull it off. So basically, once you undo those, pull this guy out of here, set him to the side. You've got your gasket, and I've already pulled the float assembly out because we're going to have to measure that and figure that out. That's going to be, I guess, specific on your vehicle. Some people say they come already done, but I don't want to keep taking it back on and off, so I'm going to go ahead and measure the float. But what I wanted to do is get inside here and make sure the seat valve was tight, make sure that's tight, make sure the jets are tight, because I've had carburetors in the past that it starts running crappy and I'm wondering why, and the jets have fallen out. So we're going to check all the internal stuff, make sure that's cool, there's no little metally bits in there, and then we'll go ahead and button that back up after we check the float height. Alright guys, so we pulled our 4 screws off, pulled this cap off, and without messing with it, we already see that the gasket that goes around the base of the power valve is offset to one side. You can see under there, they just kind of slapped it together. So whether it's loose or not, that gasket in there needs to be centered on this guy. So I'm going to pop this out and show you what I mean. We'll also see if this bugger is loose. Not super loose, but looser than I'd like it to be. See, it's not centered on the thing. So we may need to pop this guy off and reseat him. Sometimes I'll use a little grease to keep him like properly lined up. So we'll see if we can get it back together the right way. Alright, so we've buttoned this jewel up the best we can. We run the idle screws out to like 1.5 turns, put the cover back on, snugged up the thing, and got the O-ring to seat on the power valve. So we're going to put it on. I'm going to use my existing base plate because the one that it came with is kind of plasticky and cheesy, so I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm going to leave that base gasket in there and then just put her in, see how it goes. Oh, seems to fit on the dowel, so I guess we're good there. I'll plug this guy up so he doesn't get fuel everywhere. All right, well, that's a good start. It sits on there. I mean, it rocks a little bit, so who knows, but let's get it bolted down and then we'll see. hopefully it runs. If it runs great, we don't know. We'll let it warm up. Choke's still on. We'll see if the choke comes off. And yeah, I know. All right, we got the carb on. We got it all adjusted. Fires and runs. We can at least move the truck now. I took the truck for a trip around the block. I gotta say, she runs pretty freaking good. However, the idle's still a little weird, and I think I've got some kind of a miss, which I couldn't tell with the previous carburetor, and that's the reason I took it apart to begin with, is it was stuck idling super high. Like I'd have to pull back on the pedal to make the RPMs drop down. Like something was wrong with the butterfly sticking. So that was the issue I was having before, and when I was doing the air fuel screw adjustment with my vacuum gauge, the idle would only go down so far. So basically the truck always had a high idle, and I was trying to fix that issue, and that's what resulted in the breaking of those little screws, because the throttle blades were getting stuck. So on this one, at least it idles nice and low, you know, 600, 700 RPM, runs and drives good, accelerates just fine. I looked at the mirror as I was flooring it, didn't notice that it was any black smoke. I don't know if the jets that come in these things are 100% right, and you may want to take the jets out of your old carburetor and put into this bad boy before putting it on. That way you know your jetting supposedly is right. But all in all, for fucking 90 bucks, the thing runs, and that's what we needed. So we appreciate you watching, and hopefully we can help some people and at least give our opinion on this $90 Amazon Chinese carburetor. It's a replica of a Motorcraft 2100 or 2150. It was used on tons of vehicles. Jeeps had them, Fords had them. Seems like everybody used just your regular little 2-barrel carb. So I gotta give it a thumbs up. For less than 100 bucks, delivered the next morning. That's pretty strong. I don't know that they're all gonna work perfectly, because it's, you know, some kind of knockoff manufactured stuff, but it'll at least get your vehicle on the road. We thank you guys so much for watching. Also, if you want to leave us a comment, good, bad, whatever, let us know what you'd like to see in the future. Yeah, if you could subscribe, that'd be rad. Also, if you could like the video if you liked it, or don't like it, dislike it, I don't care. Just either way, let us know how we're doing, so in the future we can kind of detail the videos and get them, I guess, more interesting, and know that we're covering what you folks would want to see at home. Yeah, so let us know what you think, and then also if you hit the little alert bell, that'll notify you when we release a new video, so you can check it out if this was something that you're into. We hope this helps somebody. If you're on the fence about getting a little $90 carburetor for your old vehicle, try it. Worked for us. We'll talk to you soon.